Division of exponents or of bases with powers. What is division? Well, we have seen the multiplication of exponents. Now we're going to go to division. So now we have an example. Say for example 3 to the 7th divided by 3 to the third power. What does that mean? Well, we can expand this out. So let's expand it out so that we can get our rules for using exponents in division. Okay, according to this is the numerator and this is the denominator. So we would draw a line and we would say 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. There are 7 threes at the top and there are 3 threes at the bottom. So now when we start to cancel, okay, so we say this cancels out with this. Well, let me use red so you can see the difference. This cancels with this, this cancels with this, this cancels with this. So you are left with how many trees at the top? If you said there are 4 trees at the top, you're perfectly correct. That means that this would be written as 3 to the 4th power. Now, is there a rule for using the multiplication, the division of exponents? A shorter way, because if we had a power to 100, we will not write that number, that base, to that amount of times. So therefore, let's do this. Whenever you get a problem as a base to a power divided by that same base to a different power, you will keep the base and subtract their powers. But note, it is the second power subtracted from the first power, or the denominator power subtracted from the numerator power, which then gives us 3 to the 4th. And that's our solution for that particular problem. Let's try a next example before we see a general rule that applies here. So let's try a next example. B. Consider that you have a to the 8th divided by a to the 3rd. Let's use the same rule that I just said a while ago. Since the bases are the same, we'll keep the base and subtract the second power from the first power. So it's 8 minus 3, giving us a to the 5th power. That is our solution. Nothing much there, but I want you guys to do this working here so that you can see how you arrive here. And it's very important to set this up properly. Reason why, you will see something change eventually in these powers. So for that reason, I'm stressing that you need to show your steps so you see how you get your final solution. So let me give you the general rule for this now, since we have seen this trend. So you can say, in general, a base to a power divided by that same base to a different power will keep the base and subtract the denominator power from the numerator power. So when dividing quantities with the same base, we subtract the denominator power or index from the numerator power or index. That's what that means. So that's all you will need to be doing. So understand this rule. If the bases are the same and it's being divided, you will keep the base and subtract the denominator power from the numerator power. So let's try some examples. Express each of the following quotients. And what quotient means? It means division in index form. So that means the answers need to be in index form. No, you're not to use a calculator for this and get a big whole number. All right. So our first example in this will be, we have 4 to the say 4 to the 8 power divided by 4 to the 7 power. According to this rule, we'll keep the base and we are going to say 8 minus 7, which is then 4 to the first power. Since it's 4 to the first power, you may write it as simply 4. The first power is understood, so you don't have to write that down. B, a base to 11 power divided by that same base to a 6 power. Our working will be, we keep the base, first power minus the second power, giving us a to the 5th power. You must write the 5 because it is a 5 power. Okay? C, x to the 5th, y to the 2nd divided by x, y to the 1st. Okay, now since you see a letter by itself, that means to the 1st power. That should be understood. Okay, so now our solution will be as follows. Remember, the bases need to be the same so that you can apply the rule. So the only bases here which are the same, the x is the same with x, the y is with y. So let's apply our operation. So we're going to write x 5 subtract the power of this x is 1, and then y to the 2nd power subtract the power of this y, which is 1, giving us as final solution as x to the 4th power y to the 1st power, or understood x to the 4th y. You finish with that particular one there. Let's do another example. D, consider that you have p to the 6th, q to the 4th, r to the 5th divided by p to the 4th, q to the 2nd, r to the 1st. The power of this r is to the 1. Remember, you can only combine bases of the same kind, and since all of this is being divided from this, then the powers from this one will be subtracted from the powers of this one, but they must be of the same base. So let's apply. Here we're going to say the p 6 take away the 4 because it's division. The q is going to be to the 4th, take away 2. The r is going to be to the 5th, take away 1, giving us p to the 2nd, q to the 2nd, and r to the 4th. That is for the division of powers or indices or exponents, as how it may be called. Okay, so those are the rules.